There is no denying that the Switch has a lot of games, but there is one genre that is sadly lacking on the platform, and that is the first person shooter. But Hypercharge Unboxed is the next one on the way, made by Digital Cyber Cherries. I was lucky enough to get a review code, so I have been playing it over the last few days. In this video I will be reviewing the game. I must say I am having a blast playing the game at the moment. It is releasing on the 31st of January for around about $30, but if you do pick up the game before release day, you will get 10% off of that price, which is a really cool consumer friendly sort of thing that they are doing. And that goes along what else they are doing as well. They are really making an effort with this game on the Switch. The game will be getting free updates after launch, adding in new enemies, new maps, new sort of game modes as well, which is really cool. There is no loot boxes in this game. The game has gyro controls, they work really well, so they are definitely making an effort there. They are going things the right way in my opinion, so yeah, I think they have to be commended for making an effort with this game. The game even has split screen. It has up to 4 players locally. You can play dot, which is really cool. We don't really have that with any other shooter on the platform at the moment, even with Nintendo's own shooter Splatoon 2. So they are going the extra mile with this game. Yeah, like what I did say, I'm having a blast with this game, but I guess I should really start with what this game is about. Inspired by films such as Small Soldiers and Toy Story, and games such as Toy Commander, Sarge's Heroes, and the Dirats server on Counter-Strike 1.6. I do believe that server, all the maps are on Counter-Strike Source, might even be on Counter-Strike Go as well. But yeah, Hypercharge Unboxed sees you play from the point of view of a toy soldier. This definitely makes the game really unique. A lot of shooters nowadays, they just want to copy Call of Duty, they want to copy Fortnite. They are shoehorning in a battle royale into their game to sort of try and, you know, take advantage of what is the most in sort of thing at the moment, that is battle royale. Battle royale is pretty much shoehorned into every single game out there. Call of Duty's got it, Fallout added it in with Fallout 76, Battlefield had its own as well. What I love about this game is that it's, you know, really unique. You don't really see anything like it on modern day platforms today, really. I just love how unique it is. It's so innovative, it's so creative. I did play on the Dirats server on Counter-Strike 1.6, so I can definitely see the inspirations there. I loved films such as Small Soldiers and Toy Story back in the day, so this game, it definitely does speak to me. Yeah, I'm loving it so far. I think they've done a really good job executing the inspiration in this game. So I have played a lot of shooters on the channel, whether it be on Nintendo platforms or on PC like Counter-Strike, GoldenEye Source, but I kind of feel like the two key things that developers have to get right for a first person shooter or any shooter in general for it to be a great game is 1, having great maps, and 2, having great gameplay. Without those two things, you can pretty much say goodnight pretty much. There's just no point playing the game. But I can say they have got both of those things absolutely spot on. The maps are some of the most creative I have ever played in a first person shooter. I think because you are playing through the point of view of a toy soldier, you are pretty much playing on maps like everyday settings pretty much, where, you know, you are in a kitchen sort of area or a bathroom sort of area or bedroom, garage, but because you are playing through those levels through a different sort of point of view, it just adds that little bit of extra flavour to these maps. The lighting in these maps are really good for the most part. It's just a couple where there are some really dark areas on there. It can be quite hard to spot the enemies, but yeah, the maps, seriously, the maps are so great. I just love the sense of scale on these maps. The maps are really cleverly designed as well. The way the objects are placed on the map, it allows platforming to take place. So you can pretty much go anywhere on the stage as long as you are good at platforming. I just absolutely love the maps in this game. They are really good in my opinion. There are 10 in total, with more coming for free in future updates. The maps offer unique enemies as well, who are also toys just like you. I think my favourite map is the toy store, because you are pretty much coming up against toy soldiers. It is pretty much like a toy soldier sort of war, where you got tanks on the stage. It's just so cool. You got spinners, as they call it. They are pretty much Beyblades, but that is something which I did play with back in the day. There is definitely like a nostalgia sort of thing there with this game, where you can attach yourself to the toys that you are coming up against, like the toy soldiers, like the Beyblades. I really do love the premise of this game. It's really fun to play. And yeah, other enemies you will come up against are robots, exploding monsters as well. So yeah, the enemies, I think they definitely do fit in really well with the theme of this game. On to the gameplay now, and yeah, like what I have been saying throughout this video, I am really enjoying what I have been playing so far. The gameplay is definitely fun. What definitely helps that is gyro controls. Now, the gyro controls definitely do work really well in this game. I would say they are probably not similar to Splatoon 2. I would say they are more similar to Doom, just because obviously it is a first person shooter like Doom. So it sort of reminds me of the gyro in Doom, but I kind of feel like the gyro in this game, it works better. The gyro, if you are familiar with it, I think you will get to grips with it really quickly. I definitely do appreciate the effort they did put in, like in terms of putting in gyro into this game. It definitely does go a long way in helping me feel comfortable with the controls. The controls definitely do take quite a bit to get used to, just because reload is completely different. There are two options. You got default, which I think is a little bit rubbish. I had to switch to standard, but on standard, reload is R. I would have preferred it to be Y, just because that is what I am used to. I don't think this game does have button mapping. It's something which I did look into. I could have been looking at a completely different place, but yeah, I definitely would love to see some sort of button mapping in there, so I could definitely change reload from R. I didn't even know reload was in the game until I looked at the controls, just because I was so familiar with it being Y, but Y you do use to pick up certain objects in this game, which I will talk about later on in this video. So yeah, character movement as well, I think it will take a little bit to get used to, but once you do, it definitely does feel right. The game runs in 1080p in docked, 720p in handheld mode, 30 frames per second on both, and yeah, it really does drop from that. It definitely does feel really smooth from what I did play. Handheld mode itself, I think they did a really good job with it. It looks just as sharp as the docked version. Battery life didn't really affect it too much. I was getting a good amount of hours on this game in handheld mode. Split screen, I haven't really checked out myself. I don't really know how well it does run in this game, but yeah, it's just really cool how you do have that possibility. In terms of what you will be playing, there are 3 game modes in the game. That is definitely not enough, but there are more coming in free updates after launch. Sadly, there is no single player, which is a shame. I would have loved to have seen a story mode in there, but the main game mode is co-op waves, where it's pretty much like a horde game mode, a bit like Salmon Run and Zombies from Call of Duty, where pretty much up to 4 of you have to defend objectives on the stage known as the Hypercore from enemies who are trying to destroy them. It works a bit like a tower defense sort of game, where pretty much in between the waves, which can be up to 5, in between those waves you do have a bit of time to build up your defenses to try and protect those stations from the enemies destroying them. To build those defenses to protect the objective, you will have to collect parts which are around the map, either individually or in packs, and yeah, it definitely is a really cool aspect. Again, it definitely helps to make the game really different to a lot of the other shooters out there. The buildable defenses are really cool. There are poison traps, there are sort of rocket launchers you can set up, there are machine guns you can set up, as well as explosive traps. So yeah, the buildable defenses definitely is really cool to use in the game. I would say that co-op waves is really hard to play on your own. That's pretty much what I did most of the time, just because I was obviously playing a game earlier. I would say that this game, it is really difficult to play on your own because you do have to multitask, just because you are compensating for the lack of other players on the stage. So I had a lot of times on bigger stages where I had to go from one side of the stage to protect one objective, to then go to the complete opposite side of the stage to, you know, protect that objective as well. And most of the time I did find it really hard to protect all 3 bases. So yeah, this game mode, it definitely is built for you and your mates to play on. I can imagine this game mode is really fun to play with your mates. Unfortunately, there is no voice chat in this game. It is something which they are looking at. There are sort of voice commands that you can do in the game, but yeah, voice chat, built-in voice chat would be really cool to see in this game, with it being so co-op based. I feel like voice chat would go along nicely with this game mode. Like I said earlier, the game mode does have a maximum of 5 waves. The waves do get difficult the more you get through the game mode. The game mode does last quite a while as well. But yeah, one thing I would like to see with this game mode is like a sort of Call of Duty Zombies sort of variant to it, where pretty much there is no wave limit. You pretty much just go on until you die, and the waves get more difficult the more you get through them. That would be really cool to see in this game. Who knows, maybe they might add it in the future with updates. But yeah, the game mode, it definitely does have a sense of progression to it as well, because all of the content isn't unlocked for you. You have to unlock it yourself by pretty much playing in the co-op waves game mode. You unlock more content such as new maps, new buildable defenses, new weapons, new customization options by pretty much just playing the game. And the better you do, the better rewards you do get. You do get rewards in co-op waves. Some of those rewards are only available in the harder difficulties, which is really hard to do on your own. I struggled on the regular game mode on my own. I had to drop it down to casual, so I can only imagine how hard the harder difficulties are. I kind of feel like that is another example of you pretty much having to play this game mode with a bunch of other people so that you can unlock everything in the game. But yeah, based on what I have played so far on my own, I have pretty much unlocked most of the maps, so it is doable. But yeah, the preferred way to play this game mode is with a bunch of other people, which I definitely will be doing when the game does launch on the 31st of January. There is definitely a lot there for you to unlock. There is definitely a replayability value there. There are 32 weapons, 22 buildable defense options, and 10 maps to unlock. There will be 2 more maps coming after launch, which I did mention a little bit earlier. Co-op free roam is the second game mode. It is pretty much co-op waves without all of the enemies. This allows you to explore all of the maps at your own pace. Pretty much on all of the maps there are a set amount of collectibles for you to unlock. I'm not sure what they do unlock in the game, but yeah, the best way to collect all of those collectibles hidden on the stage is to play co-op free roam. There is not a lot to this game mode, to be honest with you, but I definitely do enjoy going in co-op free roam and just try and explore all of the maps. So those two game modes are available, online and offline. There is also a multiplayer game mode which is available online. Sadly, I can't give my impressions of the multiplayer just because I do have the game and nobody else is on the multiplayer at the moment. But the multiplayer does have a deathmatch game mode where up to 8 players will face off against each other. There is another game mode in the PvP called Plague. I'm not sure what that game mode is, but yeah, there are 2 game modes in the multiplayer, probably more coming in the future. What is really cool about this game is that they did add in a server browser, which is something which I have never seen in a shooter on a Nintendo platform. So I definitely do like the extra effort they did put in there. But this ties into my main concern with the game. It's nothing to do with the game itself. It's pretty much down to how online games do work on the Switch with the arrival of the Switch online service. My main concern with this game is, will the servers be populated? Will there be enough players for you to be able to play in the multiplayer or in the co-op waves game mode? You can't even play the multiplayer offline. You do need other players online for the multiplayer. But my main concern is, will enough people pick up this game? This game is definitely obscure. The eShop, in terms of how it is laid out, it can be hard to stand out on the eShop. It can be hard for people to find games on the eShop. So my main worry with this game is, how long will this game be active for? Because in order for you to play the online multiplayer, you do need a Switch online membership. I fear that the servers will not be active for that long due to the paywall that Nintendo did introduce for the Switch online. If this game was free to play, then you wouldn't need any sort of option there for you to buy a Switch online membership. But because this game is $20, you will need to buy a Switch online membership. I kind of feel like with new games like this from new developers, I kind of feel like Nintendo should waive away the need to have a Switch online membership to play this game online. It will give new and fresh games like this the best chance of surviving and thriving. So that is my main problem, or my main concern at the moment. It's nothing to do with the game itself. I guess them adding in bots so that you can play the multiplayer offline, that would be a really cool addition to the game. The devs are looking into crossplay, and I kind of feel like a game like this definitely does need it. But apart from that, I would say the only other thing I would want to see changed with this game is the HUD. The writing in the HUD is a little bit too small. You can't really see how many buildables you do have left. So I'd definitely love to see the font a little bit bigger in the future, as well as maybe the lighting improved in some of the maps and all of the other stuff I did mention earlier on. But yeah, in terms of the updates with this game, this is what will be coming in the future with Hypercharge Unboxed. In February, a tutorial will be coming to the game, as well as 2 new game modes, new characters, as well as quality of life improvements based on reviews. A demo will be coming in March, as well as balancing improvements based on player feedback, as well as voice chat. Voice chat will be coming in March, so yeah, that is definitely really cool to see. Single player improvements, 1 new map and 1 new game mode will be coming in April. Finally, in May, 1 new game mode, 1 new map new enemies and new weapons will be coming to the game. Now those dates are subject to change, but that is a really good sign moving forward. They are prepared to support the game with more content. So yeah, I guess in summary, is this game worth $20? I'll definitely say yes if a bunch of your friends are picking up the game. Maybe not if you are playing the game on your own, but that's pretty much what I have been playing. I've been playing this game on my own, and I have still had a lot of fun on the game, although I can see the restrictions to what content I can unlock based on me playing the game on my own. So I'm not sure how long the game will keep me active from me just playing the game on my own. But when the game does launch on the 31st of January, I will be searching for co-op waves, game modes, to try and unlock all of the content I can't do on my own. So yeah, I kind of feel like this shooter definitely does deserve a chance, and I kind of feel like it will be getting better as well. I feel like they've made such a great effort with this game mode. I feel like a game like this, with no loot boxes, no microtransactions, I kind of feel like a game like this definitely does deserve a lot of support. The game may not be perfect, it could do with a few improvements here and there, but I feel like what is there, it is a really solid base to build off from. So yeah, I really do like the game at the moment, and yeah, I definitely would recommend the game if you know a few other people that will be picking up the game. So that's pretty much it in terms of my review for Hypercharge Unboxed. I've had a lot of fun over the last few days playing the game, so again, a massive shout out to Digital Cyber Cherries for giving me a review code. But that's pretty much it for this video. I kind of feel like what we'll be doing on the channel from the 31st of January is still covering this game. I will be giving you my first impressions of the multiplayer. By the way, something which I did forget to mention is that in their AMA on Reddit, they did sort of hint that one of those new game modes will be a variant of Capture the Flag, and one of the game modes will be vehicles based, where it sounds like you will be able to play in the vehicles, and it sounds like Team Deathmatch will be added to the multiplayer as well, where you got teams of 4 coming up against each other. So yeah, definitely I'm looking forward to playing in that content. I am a little bit concerned about the maps, whether they would play well in the multiplayer, but yeah, we'll talk more about that when the game does launch on the 31st of January. So that's pretty much it for this video, and yeah, we'll see you in another video soon, hopefully.